What if I told you that the SUV you are looking at right now is not just a new model? It is a statement that everything you thought you knew about luxury SUVs is already obsolete. Because Audi did not just update the Q8. They tore up the rule book, went back to a blank page, and built something that genuinely feels like it arrived from 10 years in the future. And here is the part that nobody is talking about yet. The most impressive thing about this machine is not what you can see. It is what is happening underneath that body, behind those screens, and inside that cabin that is going to make every competitor in this segment nervous. Welcome to the Car Analyst, where we go deeper than the press release, beyond the glossy brochure, and straight into what actually matters about the cars that are shaping tomorrow. And today we are going all in on the 2027 Audi Q8-L. Stay with me, because by the time we get to what this SUV can actually do on its own, you will understand why this might be the most consequential luxury SUV launch in the last decade. Let us start with what hits you first, because with the Q8-L, the first impression is not subtle. This is not a car that whispers its presence. It announces itself. The exterior design has gone through what Audi's team is internally calling a generational reset. And when you see it in the flesh, or in this case, in an all-consuming gloss black that seems to absorb the light around it, you immediately understand what that means. The silhouette is lower and wider than its predecessor, with a roofline that sweeps back with an almost coupe-like aggression that you would not expect from a full-size luxury SUV. But it works, and it works spectacularly. Audi has stretched the wheelbase significantly in the L variant specifically, which gives it that imposing road presence you feel before the car even moves. Now the front fascia. This is where Audi made their boldest statement yet, and honestly, it deserves a moment to breathe. Gone is the traditional grille as we know it. In its place sits what Audi is calling an active digital light matrix, essentially a programmable panel of thousands of individual micro-lead points that can display patterns, communicate information to pedestrians and other drivers, and shift visual expressions based on the driving mode you have selected. The four rings at the center glow with a clarity and precision that feels almost holographic in certain lighting conditions. It is theatrical, yes, but it is theatrical with engineering purpose behind it. Every element of that front end is designed to channel airflow, reduce drag, and enhance cooling for the powertrain systems living beneath that long hood. Audi's Aerodynamics team has reportedly shaved the drag coefficient down to figures that were previously only achievable in pure electric sedans. On an SUV of this size, that is a remarkable achievement. Move to the sides and you notice how clean the surfacing is. There are no unnecessary character lines for the sake of it. The muscular wheel arches are pronounced but smooth, flowing naturally into doors that have a depth and sculptural quality to them. The wheels on this variant push the boundaries of what we have seen on production Audi models. Massive multi-spoke designs finished in the same gloss black as the body, creating a monolithic, almost stealth aircraft aesthetic. The window line rises gently toward the rear, the roof rails are flush and integrated rather than bolted on, and the whole side profile communicates speed and confidence simultaneously. The rear is where the lighting design becomes truly next level. A full-width LED light bar connects both tail lights in a seamless band, and within that band, Audi has embedded individually controllable segments that create animated light sequences for indicators, braking, and even a welcome animation when you approach the car. It is the kind of detail that you notice once, and then you cannot stop noticing every time after. The lower rear bumper features an integrated diffuser that is not decorative. It actively manages airflow, leaving the underside of the vehicle. Every geometric cut and angle serves an aerodynamic function. This is a design team that had the confidence to make beauty and engineering speak the same language. Now step inside and prepare yourself, because this is where the Q8-L transforms from impressive to genuinely extraordinary. Open the door, which swings with a weighted vault-like solidity that immediately communicates quality. And what meets you is not a car interior. It is a curated environment. The front cabin is dominated by what Audi is calling the panoramic digital stage. which is essentially a seamlessly integrated curved display assembly that spans the entire width of the dashboard. It incorporates the driver's instrument cluster, a central infotainment display of considerable size, and a passenger side screen, all rendered in a single glass surface with no visible bezels or transitions between them. The resolution and brightness of these displays are calibrated for every lighting condition, from harsh midday sun to the deep darkness of an underground garage at midnight. But what is more impressive than the hardware is what runs on it. Audi has embedded a next-generation AI assistant into the Q8L's operating system, one that learns your habits, anticipates your preferences, and begins preparing your environment before you even consciously decide what you want. It learns your preferred cabin temperature at different times of day. It knows which audio profile you prefer on highway drives versus city commutes. It integrates with your calendar, your home systems, and your personal digital ecosystem in ways that previous in-car technology only gestured at. This is not voice command with a fancy name. This is genuine contextual intelligence woven into the daily ownership experience. The materials throughout the cabin are extraordinary. The seats in the front are upholstered in a diamond-quilted alcantara that has a softness and tactile quality that makes even the finest leather feel ordinary by comparison. The dashboard surfaces blend real open-pore wood veneers with brushed metal accents and soft-touch synthetics in a way that never feels mismatched or assembled from different design languages. The ambient lighting system offers a spectrum of tones that can shift with your driving mode, your music, or simply the time of day, bathing the interior in warmth that makes the Q8L feel genuinely alive after dark. Now move to the rear, because the L in Q8L does not stand for anything subtle. The extended wheelbase creates a rear passenger environment that is less car interior and more private lounge. The seats recline to near-flat positions with motorized leg rests that extend to support you fully. Each rear seat has its own dedicated touchscreen mounted to the back of the front seat, with full control over climate, entertainment, ambient lighting, and even massage functions. The center console in the rear features its own control interface, and the privacy window, a rear sunblind that operates electronically, adds a layer of separation between the outside world and this remarkably quiet interior space, because quiet is the word here. Audi's acoustic engineering team has treated every panel, every glass surface, and every door cavity with sound-dampening materials that reduce road and wind noise to a near imperceptible level. At motorway speeds, the Q8L is eerily, impressively silent. Under the hood, or more precisely, beneath the floor, the Q8L arrives with powertrain options designed to serve different markets and different expectations. The flagship variant is a plug-in hybrid system that pairs a refined combustion engine with an electric motor setup, delivering combined outputs that put this firmly in the performance luxury category, without sacrificing the range assurance that many buyers in this segment still require. The electric-only range has been extended meaningfully over previous Audi PHEV offerings, making daily urban driving fully emissions-free for most users without any compromise in capability for longer journeys. The all-wheel drive system, Audi's legendary Quattro, now in its most sophisticated evolution, has been paired with an adaptive air suspension that reads road conditions through front-facing cameras and prepares the suspension response before the wheel actually encounters the surface. The result is a ride quality that somehow manages to feel both completely controlled and genuinely effortless. Push it through a corner and there is composure. Cruise at speed and there is serenity. Very few vehicles of this size manage to convincingly deliver both. The safety architecture of the Q8L represents Audi's most complete deployment of autonomous and semi-autonomous assistance systems to date. The sensor suite, an array of radar, LiDAR, ultrasonic, and camera systems, builds a real-time three-dimensional model of the space around the vehicle at all times. Lane centering, adaptive cruise, automatic emergency braking, and cross-traffic management all work with a smoothness and confidence that feels genuinely different from the generation before. On certain highway conditions and in supported geographic regions, The Q8L is capable of hands-free driving within legally designated parameters, a capability that Audi has spent years refining to feel trustworthy rather than anxious-making. The difference between a system you use and a system you trust is enormous, and the Q8L is clearly aiming for the latter. Practically speaking, this vehicle is designed for a life that is genuinely full. The cargo area behind the third row, yes, this configuration seats up to 7, is usable, not token. The tailgate opens electrically with a gesture or a key fob input. Interior storage is intelligently distributed. The cup holders, door pockets, center console bin, and under-seat compartments are all sized and positioned as if someone actually thought about how real families use real cars on real days. Because here is the thing about the Q8L that no press release will tell you plainly. This vehicle is not designed for a fantasy owner. It is designed for someone who needs a flagship SUV to perform daily duties without ever asking less of itself, while simultaneously offering a level of occasion and specialness that reminds you, each time you use it, that you are driving something genuinely remarkable. Who is this car for? It is for the person who has looked at every flagship SUV on the market and felt that something was always missing. Either presence without substance or substance without soul. The Q8L makes no such compromise. It is refined without being timid. It is technological without being cold. It is spacious without being bloated. And in that rare combination lies its real achievement. The 2027 Audi Q8L is not trying to compete with what exists today. It is competing with what the segment will look like in 5 years, and it is already winning that race. This is what happens when a company with genuine engineering depth decides to stop iterating and starts imagining. The result is a vehicle that does not feel like an evolution. It feels like a destination. If this kind of deep dive analysis is what you come here for, then you already know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the Q8L just redefined the luxury SUV segment, or has Audi set a bar that even they will struggle to clear next time? This is The Car Analyst. We will see you in the next one.